to the Savvy Technical Solutions Design Lab. My name is Patrick Howe. I'm going to talk today about the Savvylevel external mount solution. This is so that we can mount the Savvylevel device externally at the front of the caravan where other pieces of equipment are, so that we can make an effective signal or get an effective signal to the car when the caravan is heavily clad with metal. This new box that we've come up with, or this new design that we've come up with, is able to achieve IP68 performance if it's done properly. And it turns out that to do it properly is really simple. This box has been designed so that the average user without any skills can assemble it and put it in and achieve IP68 properties, or a manufacturer can separate the tasks effectively and again achieve that with different skill sets for each different job to assemble it. But let me just tell you a bit about how it all works now. Firstly, the Savvylevel box comprises a lid with a cable gland in the back and a base plate. The base plate and the lid are treated separately. The base plate is positioned onto the frame of the caravan at the front so that this side axis is parallel to the north-south axis, and this back or front axis is parallel to the east-west. That's the only thing you have to do. It's symmetrical, so if we turn that little base plate around, it makes no difference provided these axes are parallel. That is, east-west parallel, north-south parallel. Now, what we do with this base plate is mount this down with rivets or non-magnetic screws, but you're not worried about the compass, then it doesn't matter so much. We have these little standoffs at the bottom of the base plate. These are so that you can position this on the plate where any warping of the plate won't cause any warping of this plastic and compromise the seal. These are about 4mm, a bit over 4mm thick, and very solid with nice wide pads on them, so you can achieve a nice tight binding to your base plate, which is what we're going to need to do. To start off with, I'm going to show this now mounted to a piece of aluminium. In this case, I've just used some rivets and I've just mounted it to a piece of aluminium as such. You'll see there's a little air gap underneath. This is very solid, so it won't flex or bend under the sun. I should mention that the plastic is UV stable and we're going to achieve IP68 performance. Alright, so how do we go about this? The first thing we do is we take our Savvylevel and we just separate the lid. So I'll just pull that lid away from the Savvylevel. I've done that over here. So here's one that's been done right away. And I take this cover plate and I just place that and slide that on there to protect the componentry, just like that. Now I connect the positive and negative wires any way that I like into the cable that I'm going to be using within the caravan. I've just connected that with a couple of little clamps. Now, this cable will of course have come out from the cable gland. Once I'm happy that all of this cable has been connected, I pull it back through the cable gland till it's about almost through it and just push the Savvylevel into that little housing arrangement just in there and pull back a bit of pressure on it. Again, I don't want to make too much pressure on it because I don't want to pull the cables outside. Once I'm happy, I just lock the cable gland just down as I've done there. So now it's locked into there and sealed around the outside. I now have Savvylevel that's just basically positioned inside the box as I've shown. With the Savvylevel just pressed in, and it's a loose fit, into the top housing, I noticed that there's a small gap around the edge and there's a little wall here. All I need to do now is take a silicone gun and just fairly liberally put silicone in there. I do not have to be very careful with this. I just have to make sure there's enough silicone because the base plate is designed to push the silicone into the right locations to achieve the seal. So right now I'm just going to concentrate on doing that, on putting the silicone in. Again, it's nice and easy, just pushing the silicone gun, making sure there's plenty of silicone in there. You can be a bit more is better than a bit less, but it won't make any difference if you put too much in, as you'll see in a minute. Now, once the silicone has been pushed in, as I've just done there to make sure it's sealed, you'll see, and I'll just point that out, the silicone forms a very thick, gooey base around the bottom of the device. The easy bit now is with these little top pads here. There's a couple of millimeter gap which is going to ooze the silicone into this center section here where required, with only a little bit of ooze on the outside. Let me just do that, show you now as I place that down on top there. I place it in as I would do. Now it's pushed the silicon in. You'll see it's actually pushed the silicon into its position. A translucent box so you can actually see the silicon has been forced into its location, and the box is now IP68 once I've locked the cable gland, which I've just done now. And that's it. That's our design. That is the design of the Savvylevel's mount. Thank you for watching, and I hope you find this as easy as I've just done.